#1 video recording guide, Road to HD videos, how to record with Open Broadcaster, HD PVR, FPS 30, 25,000, 35,000 buffer rate, 95,000, 10,000 buffer rate, HD 720p, HD 1080p. #1 video editing guide, Road to HD videos, how to edit with Sony Vegas, easy editing, done quick. Audacity, remove background noise. FreeMake video converter, edit and merge sound together for free. HD 720p, HD 1080p. Okay, so if you just got done watching the OBS setup video, this would be what I use to edit, and I'll show you how I edit, and how I edit all the sound and everything together. So what we're gonna do here first is we're actually going to import our video file. We're gonna open. Now this is Sony Vegas, but you can also use free programs if you want, and I will show you a free program in this video that I used to use. That's still pretty good now, and I still do use it now too sometimes. So we're going to go to where I have my videos installed. Where my videos are put into. So the OBS video I just recorded is right here. Now, yes, okay. Okay, so that will just fit in there like that. But the reason why, hold on. Okay, so you want to click this button up here, right here. And let me just so that you guys can see this a lot better than what it is on the screen, we're going to project properties. I'll just blow this up on the screen here so you guys can actually just get a look at it. So this is what this will look like. So here we got custom, just name whatever you want. Like I said, we're doing 30 frames a second. 1280, 1280 by 720, non-progressive scan, 1000 square foot, original, and that should be pretty much it. 44/1K, or you can go 48. 44 is probably the best setting that I think that you can put it on right now. We got 8-bit, good, and that's pretty much all you want to mess around with there. And you can also make it so start all new projects with this, which I should have probably had that check marked anyway. Okay, so now what I really do here is I check mark the volume. Hit U right off the start, U, and then I hit mute on the video. Actually, you don't really have to hit mute on the video, but if you have more than one soundtrack, like if you have one that does audio, one that does game, you hit mute on the game one, your voice one will be here, right? So you mute that one, you click R on your keyboard, you go 1. So the one that you muted will not be recorded, will not be saved, but the one that you don't have muted will be saved. So we're not going to mute that right now since that's the one that I want to extract out. What we're going to go to is Tools. So you want to click on Tools, Scripting, Batch Render. There's also another way you can do it, but that's the way that I like to do it. It's in there a lot quicker. We're just gonna wait till it pops up. Let me just get this out of the way now, and we'll just go like this. Batch render, okay. Toss this right up on screen. Okay, so you gotta acknowledge where you're installing it. So we're going to go videos, save it there. Okay. So this is where you come down to what you want to save it as. Now, WAV format is probably the best format to save it as. And I'll check mark it, and then we'll hit render regions. So it only renders what you've check marked. So if you have one muted, it doesn't render that. So if you just have like massive game audio, you want to keep that there. Don't render it with. And you just want to edit your voice and stuff, and take out like noise and stuff, and just mute your game sound, and don't mute the voice sound, and then there you go. So we're rendering the region. And this usually doesn't take long, and I'll show you the settings I used for the wave sound in a few seconds here. Because I'm encoding and recording with OBS at the same time, that's why it's taking a little bit longer. Bring that down a little bit more. So all this other stuff's in the background right now. As you can see, I'm not even halfway there yet. Right after this is done, I'll show you my settings that I use for the wave format. Wave format extracts it better so that you don't lose your sound quality. Okay, so here we go. Now once that's done, it should automatically just go off like that. So we're going to click the button that is called Render As. You'll get a screen like this. Let me just click that. Bring that way up, load up for you guys. You guys can see it. Here we go. So this will be, I'm going to show you the wave format stuff first, which is right here. Edit, customize. I'm going to quickly go to customize wave sound. You guys can see this. So this is the best wave sound, PCM uncompressed, 44.100, 4480,000 if you like, but right now I use 4100, 16, and you can go stereo or mono, but I rather have it on mono. Make sure you save that, change the name to whatever you want so you know which one it is when you go to select it. Go OK. Now the second thing we want to do, you guys can still see it right here, which I need to go back to that so that you guys can see it again. And just get it back on screen. And just get it back right above. Okay, so best HD settings. Now, this is under Video for Windows AVI. Customize. We will go into those settings. Here. Okay, so this is probably the best settings that you're going to want to use for when rendering out videos. Now YouTube only accepts 29 point something. So that's why I do 29.970, even though we're recording at 30. But 29.970 is just the right amount it needs. Change this to HDV 720. If you're doing 1080, go 1080p. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're following my settings. None progressive scan, 1000. And make sure you're using Xvid. Now you could use a different one, but I'm not sure because I only work with the Xvid right now. For some reason, it works better. Now go into configure. You guys can still follow along here without me making it bigger. Go 9000 because we're going to be recording at 10,000, but 9000 is probably the amount that you're going to need for YouTube. So Xvid HD 720, single pass. Hit more option here. You'll get this screen. You'll get change this to Xvid 720. It actually might already be there. Make sure these are unchecked. Make sure you check this if it's not checked. H.263 off. Make sure that's all correct. Go into the level options. Make sure this is correct and all check marked and done. Aspect ratio. Make sure your pixel is on square default. That will get rid of the black bars. Now we're going to go into more, make sure this is all the same settings. We also need to hit this. Make sure your zone options are all this settings. Make sure that is added there. Make sure general purpose is check marked. And I believe that should be it. Make sure all these settings are correct too here. And then your audio, make sure these are all set. Leave it here for a couple seconds. Like I said, you can go mono, stereo, whatever you want. Make sure all these are set. Change it to the name that you want so you can recognize it later. And then save it. I'm not going to save mine because I don't want to lose the settings that I've already had. And now we're gonna edit the audio. So we're gonna remove the audio from there. We're going to bring out Odyssey or Audacity, which it should be. I think that's what it's called, Audacity. And we're just gonna get rid of whatever's in the background. So this is Audacity, where you can edit all your voice clips and everything. We're gonna go to the folder where we saved that WAV file earlier, and we're gonna just drop it in. This is taking a while because I'm rendering and recording at the same time. Let me just undo my video capture there so that I can get the whole screen here. Okay, there we go. So, as you can tell, there's a lot of noise on this video probably that I'm going to go and just change. Gotta listen to it, so. Yeah, so I'm gonna mute the mic for right now so that I can edit the video, and then I'll be right back in a few seconds. But yeah, as you can tell, this is where the noise is. So I'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, now that I've removed some or most of the noise, we'll get this right here. Now I'm going to show you the actual noise removal settings. Now, when you know you're not actually removing your voice or anything, make sure it's set on 48 so that you remove all the noise right away. Other than that, if you're just going to be capturing the noise, then removing just the noise, make sure it's on 24. Make sure this is 150, 0.15 is the best. This is probably the best settings. So you would checkmark the noise, just the noise only, not like if you have voice in the background, do not like remove. Because it won't work that way. Just the noise, get noise profile, and then checkmark your whole clip of sound, and then hit remove. When you come, you have to go back and then hit OK, and it removes just the background noise. And if you do it, there's a couple ways you can do it. There's one way where you can do it without making your voice sound distorted or whatever. But right now, we're just going to hit cancel so that doesn't go into effect. Now, the first thing we're going to do here, if you want to make your voice sound, I guess, better, or I don't know. First thing we're going to do is going to compressor. Now, make sure you get all these settings down. 15, minus 15, minus 40, 2, 1, 0.5, 1.10, and hit yes. Checkmark that button, and then hit OK. Now this will take long. This usually takes long enough for a certain amount of lengths of audio. While that's doing that, I'll explain some other stuff we're going to do here. So, yeah. So once that's done, we'll listen to part of the clip, and then I will explain more. This should rise your audio range a little bit higher so that you can actually hear background noise if you have more background noise. And then we'll remove from there. Right, so now that that's done, as you can see, it made the audio way larger than it should be. We're going to actually listen to part of this. Let me just... Okay, so not many know how to stream with OBS. This would be a guide on how to set OBS up. So as you can tell, you can actually hear some background noise when I talk. That's kind of bad. Because there shouldn't be any. But we're going to find a spot where you can see the background noise. Like right about there. We're going to checkmark that. We're going to go get noise profile. We're going to quickly zoom out. Sometimes the zoom out lags because you're editing a really long, lengthy file. That's kind of weird why it's doing that. So checkmark the whole video after we've already just got a bit of that noise. I'm going to go yes, remove. Now that should take some time because it is a very, like a 25-minute audio. Now you can go back and touch stuff up later. You can also remove stuff or retry again if you want to, because it doesn't actually save over top of the one you're editing on. Like, it doesn't actually save over top of the main editing thing. So you should be good to go if you screw up. So we got equalization now. So make sure you get these settings down, and make sure you go to treble boost first. Make sure these settings are the same as treble boost. Make sure it's like this and like that, you know, whatever. So yeah, treble boost. Just hit OK. Make sure those settings are correct. Now we're going to go back into Effect, Equalization. We're going to go to Bass Boost and make sure these settings are correct. Match mine. And then hit OK. Alright, so now after we're done doing that, now as you can see, it's bringing it up way too much now. So now we're going to go into Normalize. Make sure these two are checked. Go minus 3.0. Hit OK. Now that should bring it down. That should bring it down to a good range that you want. There we go. See, now it's bringing it back down to where we had it in the first place. Now we're going to so you can tell here it's going to be about minus, let's say -3. So we're going to go into Effect Hard Limiter. We're going to type in minus 3.0. Okay. Let that do its job. It should remove the higher up lines and make it all even across the board. And if you guys can't actually see the effect and all that stuff, it doesn't really matter because this is pretty simple step how to do it. So now we're actually going to replay this audio again. We're going to replay our audio again. Okay, so not many know how to stream with OBS. This would be a guide. It does sound kind of better, but I don't know. OBS up. You guys will have to tell me in the comments. On Twitch, depending on what type of connection you have, and I will be showing you guys how to do that here on this video. You can't hear that little background hissing noise because I removed it. They've added a settings button here. Either if you could be using the 32-bit version or the 64-bit version like I am. I'm using the 64-bit version. Well, that was just the sample there. So that was just a sample of what it sounds like when you do all that editing. Now we're going to go to Export File, Export Audio. Going to go, where's videos? Other videos. We're going to name it OBS Guide HD PVR. Okay. And I will be editing this one too, but I don't think I'll be making a video on it. But yeah, this is just the main how I do it video. This will be the how I do it video, and this will be the video that I edit the other video. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so that should be saved. Now we go back into Sony Vegas. Where is Sony Vegas? Okay, there it is. So now we don't need Audacity there anymore. Okay. Now I go into my videos folder again. Now the one thing you want to do is, as that's rendering in, you want to right click on your taskbar. You want to go to your speaker setting, and you want to get open volume mixer, and you'll get a thing like this. Now you'll see how, so when you start talking, when it starts talking, okay, so not many know how to stream with OBS. See how low it's talking? This will be a guide on how to set OBS up and stream on Twitch, depending on what type of connection you have, and I will be showing you guys how to do that here on this video. But first of all, with the new OBS, they've added a setting. Just put that on the screen for you guys. You could be using the 32-bit version or the 64-bit version like I am. I'm using the 64-bit version. You just keep bringing it up until your voice sounds a lot higher. I like actually streaming in 720p because a lot of users can't view 1080p if they don't have a good enough internet connection. Like it. So basically, if you have the connection to stream out 1080p, someone watching you won't be able to watch it in 1080p. And they can only be watching it in like 340 or 480 or something like that, and they'll get like bad quality. That's why I suggest streaming in 720, because that makes bigger difference towards your viewers that have lower internet. 1000 by 10,000. We'll just try 1000 by 10,000. Why can't I do that? Using in it does not work. So. And you go 2000. If you're using a background, make sure you select your chroma key and just go green or whatever type of background you're using, and select the color. Like the quality of the sound. You'll be able to do that by hitting there like that. Too low, now it's really high. But once the video comes up, I'll show you. But that's how you edit, and then we're going to render this. I don't think I'm going to record and render at the same time, but this is how you do it. We render as. And since we already have the render agent selected, it automatically will only render what's in number 1. We're going to go click on our best HD settings, what we discussed earlier. Oh, actually what I showed you earlier. And then we're going to save it as editing tutor. I'll just go editing guide for right now, because it's not really a tutorial, more likely a guide, a 30-minute guide. Okay, so now we're gonna hit render, and now that's going to render, and I'll be back when that is done. Okay, so if you do have the chance to use the Sony Vegas program and do all this stuff with Audacity and everything like that, but if you don't have the chance to use Sony Vegas, or you don't have Sony Vegas, you can use this program here, which will do the exact same thing as Sony Vegas does, and this is a little bit faster, a little bit more complex to use. You gotta use the exact same settings that I'm using to get very good quality. Let me just make sure that I'm capturing the cursor. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to extract the audio from the video and then add the new, basically follow what I did in Audacity to make the noise off the video and all the other stuff, make the levels of the video adjust and stuff like that. The only thing you probably won't be able to do is adjust the audio levels to make them higher or lower. You'll have to find another program to do that, unless I make another guide for that later, because I don't think I have any that make the audio higher or lower. So what we're going to do here first is we're going to put the video that I recorded into FreeMake Video Converter. So as you can see now, it's right here. So the first thing we're going to do is see MP3. You'll see a thing like this. What you want to first do is click MP3, make it a favorite, and then you also want to make AVI a favorite, and then you also want to go to the arrow here, make MKV also a favorite, and then click mark this button here, and then you'll have only these three here. Now we're going to get into the MP3 settings. We got. Okay, so once that screen pops up, you're going to click here, this little gearbox. Actually, make sure you go custom, because it's a custom setting. So edit preset. Now, you can do whatever you want here, but I suggest doing stereo, 48,000, and 32. Then hit OK, and then convert. Now, make sure you select your desktop to convert the file to. This could take a long time, depending how long your video is, 26 minutes. So, since I've already done this with Sony Vegas, I'm going to hit cancel, but yeah. So, now, since I've already done it with Sony Vegas, I already did it with Sony Vegas, I already edited it and everything, I can just go add audio, and now, see how this was the raw footage of the audio? That's how it would look when you extract it from this program, because it would only do the MP3, it wouldn't actually extract the video, just the sound would be extracted. The only thing you can't do here is if you had your game sound and mic sound hooked in together, then you won't be able to do it this way. So if you record your game sound and voice sound separate, then you might be able to do it. What we're going to do here is we're going to check the good sound quality that we just ran through Audacity and made all better and everything. So we're going to go MKV. Now these settings are the exact same as you would run in Sony Vegas. So what we want to do is we're going to go 1280 by 720. 1280 by 720. Now click this button here. We're going to hit stretch the video. We're going to just quickly close that, then H.24, H.264, 29.97, custom. Make sure custom is selected. 9000, AC3, original 44.1. You're gonna actually downgrade it to 44.1 and 192, and then hit OK. Now, since I've already converted this with Sony Vegas, I'm not going to do it again. But you would then click convert. You would actually select to where you want to save it, which would be the desktop. And then that will now render your video. And you can also render it in parts if you wanted to. Like I'll show you how you can edit it. You can go in here. You could go from here to 15. So if you can only make 15-minute videos, you could just go like this, 15, chop it there, then go over here and then chop it again, hit this button here, chop it. Now 15 minutes exactly. And then what we do is we re-add in the video again, we add the audio, go here again. This time we click right at the beginning, we click this button, all the way to the 15-minute mark. Chop it, and there we go. That's how you split it up into parts. So this would be part 1, that would be part 2, and then you would hit join files. You can also join the files if you want. So if they were already split up, you can now join them. Now this will be off, so then they'll just render as parts. So this is the simplest way to do it for free. I used to do it this way until I finally got Sony Vegas, which Sony Vegas was a big upgrade because you can just add everything and do everything and just render it and then just basically walk away and never come back to your computer until it's done rendering. But anyway, this has been the editing tutorial guide. Hope everyone enjoyed it. I will be doing more guides like this in the future. Just leave a comment down in the comment section, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Give me a suggestion of what you want to see, what games you want me to play. If you want me to use some type of editing software that you don't know how to use, we'll try and get a guide up for that. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, all feedback is welcomed. If this video has helped you, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. I'll be uploading videos every day, sometimes more than one, so you might see about 5 videos a day. Enjoy the videos to come in the future.